Hello, Chicago. You're watching Channel 11, WTTW.
Chronicles is made possible in part by McGraw-Hill, publishers of Byte Magazine, and VIX, the Byte Information Exchange. In print and online, Byte and VIX serve computer professionals worldwide with detailed information on new hardware, software, and technologies.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee, and this is Gary Kildall. And Gary, what we have here is no ordinary flight simulator. This particular input device is the actual remote radio controller you use to run these radio-controlled model airplanes and helicopters. So before you go out and crash your $2,000 model, you can do the identical moves to run the same plane here on the screen.
You know, I crashed one of these little helicopters a couple of years ago, so I think I'm a good customer for this product.
$199. It's called Aerochopper, Gary. It's cheaper. The interesting thing is this takes a lot of horsepower to run this kind of simulation. It was written first for an Atari ST. The question I have for you, though, has to do with the Atari we saw at the very beginning of the program at the San Jose Police Department. That Atari was set up to read not only Atari software, but it could read Mac discs, MS-DOS discs. Is it possible to be able to buy a nice low-cost machine like the Atari and run any software?
Well, I think it's a good idea in principle, of course, but even though this is a 68K processor in here, it's not a Mac, and so there's going to be some hardware considerations that some of the software is going to expect. And so we can't expect that all software is going to run. It also depends on the kind of simulation you're doing, whether it's a coprocessor, which means it's going to run at high speed, or whether it's a software emulation where each instruction is interpreted. That can be 4 or 5 times slower than the real thing. The Atari ST has an advantage. The diskettes themselves, however, are IBM compatible in the sense that the data format's the same.
Thanks to DRI's gem system.